if anything comes up during the practice that is causing you discomfort or anything of that nature, feel free to shout out, and I would love to offer you a modification or listen to the call of your body if it's not seeming right for you today. We have a practice that's geared towards stability and strength this morning. So I was telling Janet a little bit about a number of standing poses. We're actually going to work on some strengthening poses in the upper body, along the core and in the spine. Come up to our mats a little bit later in the practice for some strength building standing and balancing poses. And then hopefully I'm hoping that we can keep a little bit swifter pace than what we normally do this time. We're going to work on linking some poses with the breath and creating repetitive movement in that way. And so hopefully that'll give you the opportunity to get into your body and really just follow the call of the breath and move a little bit more swiftly. And then give us enough time for a significant Shavasana at the end. I'm talking about a little bit more like 10 minutes of Shavasana at the end, so we can really allow the connective tissue to release. Janet, that would be a great place to like create a little stability in the shoulders and in the upper body, to just soften that area down, and maybe having that be the only place that we stretch the shoulders. I don't think we're going to be doing any neck and shoulder stretches for this one, but of course, after our practice, depending on where we are, I might give you a little space in our practice to take any last movements. And yeah, thank you so much. So I guess let's start on our mat in child's pose. Do whatever you need to get there. Take off any socks or move anything out of the way. If you have any props, like any blocks for this one, and you want to keep them at the top of the mat just for a little bit later, that's a great option. Otherwise, coming onto the hands and knees on the mat, separate the knees wide, maybe even as wide as the mat, big toes touching, and then reach the arms out long, reaching out the heart. Now, I know if you have a lot of flexibility in the upper body, it might be available to you to tilt your chin forward and rest on your chin. But for this one, tuck the chin down, allow the forehead to connect the mat here. And you can take any movement that works in your body here. If you want to just gently rock the forehead from side to side, gently tilting the chin forward and backwards, pressing into the hands, sinking towards one hip or the other. And as you're here in your child's pose, begin to connect into your breath, that Ujjayi breath, tongue against the roof of the mouth, constriction in the back of the throat. So the pressure of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, that soft spot where the palate gets smooth at the very top of the cavern of your mouth. Connecting the tongue there. Feel how that creates just a gentle constriction in the back of the throat. So as you inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose, you can hear the sound of the breath coming through the back of the throat. Belly softening here in between the thighs. Allow the muscles of the pelvic floor to soften. See what it feels like to let go with the inner thighs, even the soles of the feet. Whole body sinking down onto the earth here. You are completely held and safe. This is an opportunity to let go. Noticing what your body is calling for today. If there are any places that are really calling for more of a release, or perhaps that are struggling to release here. No judgment, no need to change the sensations in the body. Simply looking at them and welcoming them. Take one more full breath right here. Slowly beginning to work your way towards your hands and knees, pressing into the fingertips, stretching out long. Rising up onto the knees, tuck the toes behind you so that even the pinky toe can come onto the ground. And here, maybe the knees are a little bit further back than hands and knees, and you bring a gentle bend into your elbows, create that strength in the upper body. Yeah, that's it. A little bit more power there. Start to press through the fingertips and just gently lift the knees off the ground. Feel that core engaging. Maybe just tapping the knees back down after you lift, or maybe rolling across the balls of the feet. So even that pinky toe tucked under it so that the ball of that pinky toe side of the foot can come into contact with the earth. Yeah, just like that. Just creating a little pressure. Now, as you press into the balls of the feet here, start to lift your hips. You're coming into down dog slowly, bending one knee, bending the other. Use the movement to draw you into your downward facing dog, walking the hips, wiggling from side to side. Gaze is towards the belly button or between the hands on the mat. Gwen, bend the knees as deeply as you can. See if you can touch your belly to your thighs before you start to straighten your legs. So keep those knees. Yeah, that's it. Keep the knees bent. Booty lift. It's about this length from the wrists to the hips. And then once you've got that length, working on one leg and then the other, pedals out. But if you notice, there's a point where you drop the heel and the back starts to round. Keep the knees bent enough so that you can keep that length from the wrists to the hips. It doesn't matter if the knees are fully bent. Yeah, that's it. Very nice. So we're going to work on connecting the breath through a series of movements just by rolling through this little mini vinyasa. I'm going to talk you through it. Yeah, if you've already got it in your body, you can follow that call. I'm going to talk you through it just to get started a few times. And if at any time your pacing comes out of pace of my voice, follow the call of your breath. You're doing it just right. Inhale forward into a plank. Exhale, drop the knees to the earth. Heart comes down in between the hands. That booty's still lifted. There you go. Inhale, slides the heart forward, shoulders roll back. So the elbows are by the hips here. Tops of the feet touch down to the earth. Exhale, rolling over the knees. Take your time to get there. Bending the knees, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. We're going to come right back into it. So inhale, forward into that plank. Exhale, the knees come down to the earth, the heart in between the hands. The elbows brush that side waist. You got this. Inhale, heart slide forward, shoulders roll back. Take your time with your breath to get there. Exhale, rolling over the knees, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. That Ujjayi breath will help you slow the movements here. Inhale, forward, constriction in the back of the throat. Exhale, drop the knees, brush the side waist with the elbows. Yeah, tuck them in tight, Gwen. You got it. Inhale, opens the heart, shoulders roll back, tops of the feet where the shoelaces would touch, press down. Exhale, rolling over the knees, tucking those toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Follow this with your breath. Inhaling forward. Now, if you've gotten that next level in your practice, elbows brush the side waist as you lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Follow that breath. Tongue against the roof of the mouth. Constriction in the back of the throat. You got it, Gwen. Inhaling forward into that plank. Exhale, elbows brush the side waist. Use the support of the knees. There you go. Inhale, press the tops of the feet down. Yes, that's it. Now rolling over. Tuck those toes. Lift the hips. 3 more pulsations at your own pace. We're going to meet in child's pose whenever you're done. So whenever you're done, drop the knees to the earth, spread them wide, big toes touch, hips back towards the heels. That's it. Following the breath here. Inhaling forward. Exhale to lower down, elbows brush the side waist. Keep that booty lifted in that first level. Inhale, opens the heart, shoulders roll back. Exhale, lower belly pulls in to tuck those hips to the sky. I'll talk you through one more if you're not in child's pose. Inhale, forward into that plank. Elbows brush the side waist. Exhale to lower. Inhale, sweep the heart forward. Find that strength in the lower back. Exhale, lift from the pubic bone. Tuck the hips up to the sky. There you go. Now knees drop to the earth, knees come wide, big toes touch. Find your child's pose. From your downward facing dog, knees come wide, big toes touch. Sink that heart down towards the earth. Find that point of contact, forehead down onto the mat. Rock the head from side to side. There you go. That's it. If you want a little bit of a stretch here, walk the hands over towards the left side of your mat. Sink back with that right hip. You got it. Maintain that connection with your breath. 2 more full breaths. Nowhere else to go here except for softening down. Inhale, walks the hands back to the center line. Exhale, hang out here for a moment. Take a moment in neutral. It's fine to be in stillness for just a second. Inhale, fills the body. Exhale, walk the hands over to that right hand side. Sink back with that left hip. Still finding that forehead on the earth. Breathing into that stretch of the side waist. Can you soften the weight of the shoulders here? Softening the back of the neck, while still keeping strength at the center of the heart so that you do not collapse fully towards the earth. 1 more full breath. That's it. Inhale, walks the hands back to the center line. Exhale here. Inhale, shifting forward onto the knees, tuck those toes, all of those toes contact the earth. Exhale, lifting those hips, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna do a bit of core work here. So it can be very challenging. I'm gonna get you into that first level and then I'm gonna give you the option to increase. You can always step back a level if you need. Now, first of all, this downward facing dog is core work in itself. So if you wanna just hang out in downward facing dog, you'll be doing it just right. Welcome, we're in our downward facing dog. All right, if you want to move deeper into the core work, inhale to lift that right leg up to the sky. Gaze is down the center line of the body, pressing away the heel, rotate that big toe towards the center line. That's it. Notice how, yeah, nice adjustment. Feel how that just engages the core exactly as it is. Now you can stay right here. This is the core work. If you want to move even more deeply in, lift that heel a little higher on the inhale. Exhale, shift forward. See if you can tap that right elbow with your knee. That's it. Inhale, leg out long. Exhale, find that point of contact with the elbow. Now, you can always inhale that leg up to the sky and just round that knee to the chest. To be honest, I think that finding the point of contact actually takes a little bit of the challenge away from it than if you were to round and try to tap your knee to your nose or chin. So no matter where you are, Janet, did I lose you?
No, I got it.
Okay. Lifting that leg, you can just keep that leg pressing away. Notice how pressing into the hands is more of a challenge here. You've got to press a little unevenly in order to keep yourself centered. And then rounding in, find that point of contact on that right elbow or knee. Yep. If you want to kick it up a notch, you can always pendulum. Tap, tap, and up. Tap, tap. Yeah, you got it, Annie. And up. We'll do 3 more. Use that constriction in the back of the throat. Exhale, forward. Inhale to lift, and exhale, forward. There you go. Inhale, leg up to the sky. Exhale, touch down those toes. Take that mini vinyasa. Inhale, forward into that plank. Exhale, knees and chest come down to the ground. Inhale, opening the heart. Exhale, rolling over the knees, lifting the hips. Downward facing dog. Find your comfortable dog here. If you need to take a few breaths in child's pose, you're welcome to do it. 2 more full breaths, no matter where you are. That's it. Still going to be creating a little bit more heat. Bend those knees, lift the tailbone. And then when you're ready, inhale that left leg up to the sky. Press the heel away and rotate it down towards the center line. See how that drops your left hip down towards the ground and it starts to activate the muscles all the way from the pelvic floor up the core. This is a challenge right here. This is exactly where you need to stay if you're feeling this already in your body. Now, if you want to increase that challenge, inhale, leg up a little higher. Exhale, come forward. See if you can tap that left elbow with your knee. Inhale, leg up. Exhale to tap. That point of contact gives you a moment of respite before reaching that leg up to the sky. You can always round it in for that little extra challenge if you want to bring that knee to your nose or chin. There you go. Any micro bend in the knees. Create a little, I'm sorry, in your elbows. Create a little bit more. Yes, that's it. That's it. You feel that extra strength? Yeah, nice. So if you do want to kick it up a notch even further, come forward, tap that left elbow, tap that right elbow. Inhaling, leg up. Exhale, tap and tap. Whatever level works for you, it's fine. You can always hang out in your three-legged dog, pressing away with the heel, pressing equally into the hands. That micro bend in the elbows really focuses the strength onto the upper arms instead of holding all that strength in the back of the neck and shoulders. So the more you create a micro bend in the elbows, instead of locking them out, the more challenging you're making it for yourself, the more benefit you're actually getting for your body. Last breath here. Inhaling that left leg up, exhale, touch down the toes. Little mini vinyasa here. Inhale forward, exhale to lower. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Come into your child's pose now. Knees to the earth, big toes touch. Sink the hips back to the heels. If you're feeling a lot in the neck and shoulders, and you don't have an injury that might prevent you from stretching that area, you can always bring the hands by the hips, reach the palms towards the sky, the tops of the hands touch onto the earth by the hips, so you can come into your full round here. One more breath here. Slowly making your way out of it, coming up to the hands and knees, tucking those toes. We're going to move right into it. Exhale to lift the hips. Inhale that right leg up to the sky. Exhale to step that right foot forward in between the hands. You got it. You were just priming for it. Wiggle those toes forward if you need to get there. And then when you're ready, drop that back knee onto the ground. That left knee drops down, left toes untuck. You might stay right here. If you have blocks, now is a good opportunity to use them on any setting. You can keep the hands right here. You can use the knee as support. Walk the hands back towards your knee right here and roll the shoulders down the back no matter where you go. That's it. Creating a few moments for stretch before strength. All right, Gwen, sink a little bit farther forward into that front knee. Yes, that's it. Or you can even walk the heel back. Walk your right heel back towards your body. Opposite direction. Yeah, that's it. Slide that heel towards you even just a little bit more. There you go. Yeah, you're going for a 90-degree angle here in the knee. Beautiful. Now as you sink forward. Does that feel a little different?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you want a little bit of a challenge here, press down with that left pinky toe. And if you want even more of a challenge, let go with your hands, reach the arms up towards the sky. Shoulders sinking down the back. One more full breath here. Inhaling through the hands, exhale to plant the hands and frame that foot. You can use any blocks if you'd like. Tuck the back toes and lift that back knee on the ground. Now, you might notice that you need to give the hips a little wiggle here in order to feel like you can squeeze the thighs together. Do that. Squeeze the thighs together. Connect that left pinky toe down to the ground. So you're in your low lunge still. Energize the arms behind you. Sweep them back. And then inhale. Come into that high lunge. Arms come up to the sky. So that back heel is off the ground. So runner's lunge. All of those toes are touching the ground. That back heel is off the ground, sinking back. And you can press back into that heel to move even more deeply in. So your feet are as if they're on two train tracks, still got that 90-degree bend in that front knee. This is a challenging, fiery pose. Use the breath to sustain you. There you go. That left heel off towards the left, just a little bit more, Gwen. Now we're gonna open into warrior two. Inhale through the hands. As you exhale, that left hand reaches back behind you and that left heel comes down to the ground. Take a moment to look at your feet here. So because you rotated that heel off to the side, now they're almost like a tightrope. Still keeping that front knee at a bend, pressing down through that 45-degree angle of the left foot here. That's it. Arms moving in opposite directions. So those right arms are reaching forward, left arm is reaching back. You can give yourself a little wiggle in the upper body here, and then shoulders roll down the back. Feel the lower belly gently lift. 3 full breaths. Gaze is over that front middle finger. Go ahead and sink into that front knee just a little bit more. Yes, that's it. Perfect. Last breath here. Inhale, arms up to the sky, lifting that left heel, rotating forward, find that low lunge. Exhale. Inhale here. Gently lift off that right foot. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog, coming into your plank. However you want to do it. You can hang out in downward facing dog or take your vinyasa. Inhale forward, exhale, knees and heart down. Inhale, rolling that shoulder back. Exhale, rolling over the knees, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. That's it. Inhaling that left leg up to the sky. And exhale, step it forward between the hands. You know where we're going. Use that belly. Wiggle those toes forward if you need to in order to find that 90-degree angle of the front leg. Feet like train tracks instead of a tightrope. So that right foot's off to the side a little bit more. Here you go. Drop that back knee down to the ground. Right knee comes down. Untuck the right toes. Use blocks here as a little support on any setting that works for you. Or you can walk the hands up to the thigh. Bring the back knee down. I promise I'll give you time to cultivate that strength. Or is it uncomfortable to drop that back knee all the way down to the earth? Yes, yeah, that's it. Low lunge, come all the way down. Now untuck those toes. See what it feels like to press that right pinky toe down into the earth. And if you want to move deeper still, arms come up to the sky. Sinking forward into that front knee. Remember that Ujjayi breath as you find these challenging poses. That's it. Yeah, any level that's working for you here. Softening into that right hip. Last breath here. Inhale through the hands. Exhale, bring the hands down to the earth. Tucking those right toes behind. Inhale fills the body. Exhale to lift that right knee off the ground. So you're in a supported low lunge here. Still rocking that pinky toe of that right foot onto the ground. So normal for the heel to want to turn in. Instead, turn that heel towards the outer edge of your mat and connect that pinky toe with the earth. Still sinking into the front knee. You can stay right here if this is what your body's feeling today. If you want, on the exhale, energize the arms behind you. Inhale, sweeps the upper body forward, coming into that high lunge. Sink back into that right heel as you sink forward into that left knee. That's it. This is challenging work here. Yeah, you're doing a great job, Janet. Right. Really nice. Yeah, everybody looks good, actually. I'm checking everybody here. Yep. Yeah, you can keep your hands on the thigh if that is where you need to be today.
Is your right foot just the ball of your foot on the floor and the heel up, or is the whole thing on the floor?
The ball of the foot, but it's really the whole ridge of the foot, right across the pinky toe and the big toe. So
that's there, but my heel isn't.
Yes, correct. That heel is going to be lifted, and you're going to increase the stretch by pressing the heel back. Last breath in this pose, and then we're opening to warrior two. So inhale through the hands. Now exhale, right hand comes behind you. Right heel comes down to the ground. So now your heel is down to the ground. And we've transitioned from this tightrope to from this train tracks to almost a tightrope. 45-degree angle with that back foot here. So you can press down with that pinky toe side of the foot as you sink forward into that knee. And so then using the arms to guide you deeper into the hips, you can have that left arm pull you forward, right arm pull you back until you find that centered space. I know you're probably feeling a lot of fire in the thighs. 3 more breaths. Use that Ujjayi breath here. Tongue against the roof of the mouth. Constriction in the back of the throat. Gaze is over that front middle fingertip. Last breath. Inhale to rise just a little bit. Exhale to cartwheel the hands down. That back heel lifts, coming into that low lunge. Inhale fills the body here. Engage the belly on the exhale. Step your way back. Take your vinyasa or whatever works for you. Inhale forward. Exhale to lower. You can always hang in downward facing dog. There you go. And then bring the knees down to the earth, coming into your child's pose. Nice. Yep. If you need to release some heat from the body, inhale through the nose, big open mouth, exhale. Try that with me. One more full breath, just like that. Spine strengthening here. Spine strengthening here. Hands onto the mat. So from your child's pose, you're going to snake forward across your mat. Bring the whole belly down to the earth. Keep the palms of the hands by the rib cage here. You can walk the hands in a little closer towards one another. Tops of the feet press down where the shoelaces would touch. And when you pressed down the top of the foot in that low lunge posture when you drop the knee to the earth. Roll the shoulders back, coming into the cobra first. Exhale, press down with the pubic bone in the tops of the feet. Inhale, upper body lifts. So see if you can lift the hands off the earth just slightly and move the heels of the hands down by the lower ribs. You can feel them right along that bra line. I think anybody of any gender is familiar with that location of the body. Press down the hands onto the mat and then pretend like you're trying to peel the front of your mat down towards your hips. I'm over exaggerating it here. Imagine you're gonna peel the front of your mat. Yeah, you got it, Annie, just like that. Beautiful. Shoulders coming back. Tops of the feet pressing. One more full breath, just like this. Now inhale sustains the pose. Exhale coming down, left ear comes onto the mat. Gaze is over to the right hand side. Palms come face up by the hips and allow the heels to turn out. This is like a mini shavasana on the belly. Yeah, just like that. Palms facing the sky, heels turning out, resting one ear onto the earth. One more breath just right here. Inhaling, chin back to the center line. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders once again in that same position. We're going to practice that cobra pose once more. So tops of the feet press down even with the pinky toes. Feel that activate the knees off the earth. Exhale, press down with the pubic bone. Inhale, upper body lifts, roll the shoulders down the back. So Janet, instead of pressing with the hands, see if you can roll the shoulders back completely organically and then use the hands as if you were a cobra, gonna slither right off your mat to pull you forward. See if that you can create that sensation of the spine lengthening by pulling into the palms and heels of the hands. 2 more full breaths. This is challenging work here. Use that ujjayi, tongue against the roof of the mouth. Inhale, sustains the pose. Exhale, coming down, right ear to the mat. Gaze is off to the left-hand side. Palms face up by the hips. Big toes touch, heels turn out. Excellent, excellent job. I'm gonna add 2 more poses here. Inhaling, chin back to the center line. The first, the locust pose, very similar to the one that you did before, except the hands will be extended out by the hips. Well, I'll turn off to the side just a little so you can see me. Chin comes to the center line. Exhale, press down with the pubic bone. Inhale, whole body lift. So the legs lift, inner thighs squeeze, fingertips reaching towards the heels. This opening, this peeling back of the front of the body as you reach the arms back towards the heels almost makes you like a taut bow. Annie, see if you, nice adjustment with the hands, how they just came up the slightest bit. That little minor adjustment is all that you need. Gwen, face the palms towards one another as if you were going to squeeze your hips in the process. Yes, that's it, that's it. Press down with the pubic bone. One more full breath here. Inhale, sustains. Exhale to lower it down, left ear to the mat. Gaze is off to the right-hand side. Take that little shavasana right on your belly. So the next posture, I'm going to give you the option to come into our deepest back bend of the day. However, I want you to know that the locust pose, what we just did, gives you all of the same strengthening benefits. So if you just want to practice that for the day, that is the perfect place to be. Only if you're really looking for that extra challenge, coming into bow pulling pose. Inhaling the chin to the mat. I'm going to talk you into bow pulling pose, but I'm going to give cues during the posture for everybody so that we can all be on the same page. So if you're coming into bow pulling pose, bend the heels towards your hips, reach back behind you and take a grip on the outside of the ankle, just at the top of the ankle meeting the foot. So you're going to take both feet together. Notice the tendency for the legs to separate. Allow the knees to separate, but bring the big toes towards one another. Notice how that begins to change the movement of the pelvis here. Press the pubic bone down into the ground on the exhalation. Inhale, press back into the tops of the feet. Exhale, lifting the toes no matter where you are. If you're in that locust pose, again, just squeezing the inner thighs, pointing the toes, reaching the hands back towards the heels as if you were a bow. Now, if you are in that full bow pulling pose, press into the feet to deepen the back bend. Allow the neck to lengthen so that you're gazing up towards that top corner of the room, really pressing into the hands. The more you press into the hands, the more your heart will lift. 2 more breaths, no matter where you are, allowing the belly to massage onto the earth. Now, if you're in the bow pulling pose, I challenge you to come down through the locust. Inhale, sustains the posture. Exhale, releasing that grip. Send your legs out long. Reach the hands towards the hips. 1 more full breath in here. Exhale to lower it down. Left ear, left facing the left-hand side, right ear coming onto the mat. Whole body, finding that Shavasana here. Gaze is off to that opposite side. That's it. Excellent work. Then when you're ready, lifting the chin, create a little triangle shape with your hands so that you can rest your knuckles on your forehead. Your nose can poke through at this neutral position, bending the heels and X and Y, the legs, X and Y, one and then the other. Just like windshield wipers on a bus. That's it, just creating a little release in that lower back. Coming to stillness when you're ready. From here, press the palms down, walk the hands underneath the shoulders. Option for a reverse chaturanga here, otherwise just press back onto the knees. There you go. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips, finding that downward facing dog. When you're ready, tiptoe forward to the top of your mat. Take 2 fists in between the big toes and turn the heels out slightly. So the knife edge of the feet are parallel to your mat. The heels will be sort of invisible behind your ankles. And you might seem like slightly pigeon-toed from your own perspective. Allow the knees to separate here so they're not touching. And then belly rests down onto the thighs. That's it. We're going to find a little bit of that movement with breath in a half salutation here. So first, finding that release. Then hands come to the shins. Inhale to lift halfway, heart shines forward. You've got all that spine strength now. Roll the shoulders down the back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms out to the sides. Come all the way up to standing. Knees bend to lift. Palms touch together. Exhale to trace the center line down to the heart. You got it. 1 full breath here. Yes, standing in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale to bend the knees and fold. Bring that belly all the way down to the thighs. There you go. Hands come to the shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine. We've done this in other practices. Let's get into that rhythm. Exhale to fold all the way down. Arms reach out like a capital letter T. Strong spine. Inhale to lift. Reach the arms up. Exhale to trace that center line down to the heart. Take that moment of stillness here. No place else to be. That's it. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. That's it. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to round. Strengthen through the spine. Engage the belly. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Palms touch. Exhale to trace the center line down to the heart. Take that moment to pause. 2 more rounds like this at your own pace of the breath. So the inhale lifts the heart. The exhale allows you to bow to the earth. The inhale shines the heart forward. And the exhale allows you to draw in and gather your strength. Inhale, rising up towards the sky. Exhale, pulling it all into the center of the heart. Take a moment to feel your feet on the earth and do it once more. Inhaling to rise. Exhaling to bow. Inhaling, heart guides you forward. Exhale to gather and resource from within. Arms out to that T, rising up towards the sky. Exhaling, drawing it into your heart center. Now practicing a balancing pose from here, shift the weight into the left foot. I'm going to mirror you in case you decide to look at me. That right knee bends forward and then right knee opens to the side. So we're coming into tree pose here. Now I'm going to lower this down so you can see my ankle because it's not about getting the foot off the ground. Your big toe can be touching the earth with the heel on your ankle. This is absolutely the shape of tree pose. Working on opening that thigh out to the side only if you need that extra challenge and strength. Sliding that foot up to the calf. Only if you need that extra challenge and strength and stability. Sliding that foot up towards the midline here. Guiding the heel into the groin. Anywhere above or below the knee is perfectly fine. Once you've got that point of contact, no matter where it is, even down here at the earth, press the left leg into the right foot, press the right foot into the left leg. Feel that create a strength line up the center as you lift the heart to meet the hands. So we still got the hands in prayer here. A point of focus concentration, something that's not moving will help you maintain your balance. And if you want, you can take your branches out to the sides. Still lifting from that heart center. Feel that active line all the way up the center of the body. Ujjayi breath sustains you. 2 more breaths. Squeezing into that center line, pressing the leg into the foot, pressing the foot into the leg. Inhaling, heart comes back to the center line. Exhaling, bringing that knee back to the center line. This time, lift that right knee off the ground. Hands are at heart center. Inhale, reaching arms up to the sky. You can keep the palms touching or interlace the fingers, taking that Charlie's Angel fingers, crossing the thumbs, interlacing all the fingers except index fingers reaching out. Preparing for that warrior 3 pose, you might just stay right here in your balance. This is absolutely perfect. If you want to come deeper, press that right heel back, hinging at the hips. It's not about how low you go. So you might be just at a very slight angle here. It's about getting length from the heel all the way through the fingertips. Eventually, one day, maybe coming down to that capital letter T. No matter where you go, focus on rolling that right hip down towards the left thigh, squeezing the shoulders down the back. Feel the engagement of the belly. Strong pose here. 1 more full breath. Inhaling to rise. Exhale to step that right foot down onto the ground. Shake out the shoulders. Move the body in any way that you need. How's everybody feeling in those poses?
Good.
Okay.
How are the hips supposed to be? I'm trying to figure out what angle they're supposed to be when you have the foot up in the back.
So ideally the hips are facing straight forward. I know it's really hard to see in this like 2-dimensional space. So it's as if there's a rod going between through the pelvis here, and you're just working on hinging forward and hinging backwards right along that rod. And so it doesn't matter how far forward you hinge, as long as you've got that rod in place there.
Okay.
So it can be just the subtlest movement. You're still getting all of the strengthening and stability effects.
Okay.
Let's try it on the other side. So your feet might have separated now. Take a comfortable stance here. Take a look down, set that strong foundation just visually, no need to measure it with the hands. Feet hip distance apart, shoulders down the back. Inhale, arms up to the sky, palms touch. Exhale to pull it all into your heart center. Shift the weight over to that. We're doing the left-hand side. Right foot. Is that the correct side? Because I know it was is that the correct side?
The other side.
Standing on right foot. So you're shifting the weight over to the left-hand side. That right knee is going to bend. I think, all right, so Annie, I see that you're on your right foot. I see that you're on, so wait, so is everybody standing on their right foot here? All right, perfect. All right, so weight shifts over to the right, left knee bends forward, and then left knee opens out to the side, planting down through the ball of the foot to begin with. So again, just finding that opening of the hip, even if you've got that point of contact on the earth, that's perfect right there. If you need that more challenge, sliding the heel up. Anywhere below or above the knee is absolutely perfect. Maybe guiding that heel all the way up towards the inner thigh. No matter where you go, creating that stability by pressing the standing leg into the foot. So pressing that right leg into your left foot. Creating that power channel all the way up from the pelvic floor that lifts your heart towards your thumbs. There you go. And then if you would like, taking the branches out to the sides. That point of focus, concentration, something that is not moving will help you keep your stability. Allow the breath to be a continuation of this centered channel of the body. So pressing, squeezing in towards that midline, traveling all the way up the belly until the tongue presses against the roof of the mouth, and that constriction in the back of the throat creates that audible breath. Two more breaths right here. Inhaling, hands back to heart center. Exhaling, bringing that left knee forward. Take a moment to hover here, so still standing on that right foot. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers if you'd like. This time take that opposite grip. So still Charlie's Angel fingers, but it'll be that opposite thumb on top. It might feel a little bit more awkward this way. Shoulders shrugging down the back. Inhale fills the body. As you exhale, pressing back with that left foot, finding that gentle hinge at the hips. Again, as if there's a rod going through the center of the hips. So as you hinge, you're just hinging right on that little dowel rod. Just like a little foosball player. That's it. Shoulders still moving down the back. Pressing away through that left heel. That's it. Use that Ujjayi breath to strengthen you. Left hip rotating down. So that hip of the leg that's lifted, trying to rotate towards the inner thigh of the standing leg. Two more full breaths. That's it. Inhaling to rise all the way up to standing. Exhale to plant the foot, bring the hands back to the center line. Walk the big toes together to touch here. We'll do this because it can provide a little bit more stability. So the big toes come together, the heels slightly separated. Preparing for chair pose here. So once you've got that strong foundation, arms reach up, inhale, keep the hands lifted, squeeze the inner thighs, and exhale, sit back into your chair. So that booty is gonna stick all the way out. And make sure that you can see all 10 toes past the front of the knees. Yeah, if you need a little extra support, you can keep the hands on the knees, shift the weight back towards the heels. Frankly, I think it's a little easier if you reach the arms toward the sky, because then you provide that counterbalance to yourself. But if it feels tight in the shoulders, reach the arms out in front of you as if you're holding a platter. And then no matter where you are, shoulders pull back. That's it. Squeeze those inner thighs. Drop that booty towards the ground. All of that weight is in your heels. Yeah, you got it, Gwen. That's it. Janet, lift your gaze to between your hands. See if that changes your sense of activation just a little bit. Two more full breaths here. Now you can hang out here if you want a little extra challenge. If you want to come out of it, come all the way up to standing. Use your hands to come down onto the earth. Otherwise, next exhale drops that booty low. Next exhale drops that booty low. How low can you go? Next exhale, drops that booty low. Once you reach your edge and your limit, bring the hands down to the earth, or maybe you can drop that booty all the way down. No matter how you get there, booty comes onto the earth, feet planted, reach forward, and then roll yourself all the way back. There you go, knees come into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze and a rock from side to side. Excellent, excellent. Coming to stillness when you're ready. Inhale, arms coming out like a capital letter T. Exhale, knees gently coming over to the right-hand side. So the spinal twist, the closer the knees are to the belly, the more you protect the lower back. If you do have a little tightness and you notice that left shoulder pulling off the earth, bring that right arm down outside of that right thigh. There you, just as a little support here in your twist. Knees is up above you or past those left extended fingertips. Janet, see if you can tuck your knees towards your body just slightly. Yeah, does that feel better, worse, neutral?
Just different, I guess.
Okay. Thank you. Softening here. See if you can soften the muscles of the jaw as you soften into the twist. One more full breath here. Inhaling to press down the backs of the arms. Exhale, use the belly to draw the knees back to the center line. Feel that core engaged. Taking hands onto the shins or thighs, rocking yourself from side to side to realign the spine. Coming to stillness when you're ready. Knees tucking into the chest. Inhale, arms out to that capital letter T. Exhale, knees over to that left-hand side. So again, you can bring that arm down on the outside of the left hip if you need that extra support here. Tuck the knees even closer to the belly button. See how that feels on the lower back as you gently twist. Yeah, nice adjustment. Softening here, gaze is up towards the ceiling or out past those left extended fingertips. Gaze is over that opposite side arm. Noticing that we've got a few directions here. Softening the muscles of the jaw. Softening the muscles of the belly. One more breath. Inhaling to press down the backs of the arms. Exhaling, knees back to the center line. Use your belly to get there. Any last movements that you need to take, you're welcome to do here. Rocking from side to side. Maybe even taking a little happy baby pose, reaching down to grip the knife edge of the foot, just pressing the tailbone down onto the ground and shifting from there. Not even needing to raise the heels if this feels comfortable for the body. And then when you're ready for your Shavasana, planting the feet onto the earth, press down with the back of the skull and walk the shoulders down the back. This is where you get to tuck those shoulder blades down, reaching the arms out to the sides. Take up as much space as you need here. Whatever natural fold of the body occurs, allow to be. And then when you're ready, stepping one leg and then the other out long. Softening the body down here. This time, disconnect the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Relax the muscles of the jaw. And see if you can relax the corners of the lips. Pretend like you could relax your lips all the way down to your earlobes. So your whole side of the face softens, cheek softens all the way down to the ears. Softening the corners of the eyes. Imagine you can soften the eyebrows. Relaxing the forehead. Imagine you can even relax the muscles on the crown of the head. Softening the body into the earth. And in this space, imagine that every breath is like the ocean washing over the body. Soles of the feet planted on the sand, softening through the soles of the feet, softening your toes. Allow yourself to feel the beach underneath the soles of your feet and let go into that space. Every inhale, like the tide breaking over the shore, feeling that wave of breath wash over the body from the soles of the feet, up the legs, up over the belly, shoulders, up over the crown of the head. And then every exhale, washing down the body like that tide, releasing through the soles of the feet. When the mind begins to wander, draw the awareness back into that breath. Imagine that breath washing over the body like the tide. Every inhalation washes over to the crown of the head. Every exhalation washes down the spine, escaping through the soles of the feet, carrying with it everything that you no longer need. Softening the tongue from the roof of the mouth, softening the muscles of the jaw, whole body sinking down into the earth. You are safe here. Give yourself this opportunity to let go. Softening through the palms of the hands, softening through the soles of the feet. Every breath washing over the body like the tide, carrying out with it all that no longer serves you. Take this opportunity to let go completely. Take one more full breath right here. Gently beginning to bring the movement back into the body along with the breath. Wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Maybe reaching the arms up long overhead, taking a full body stretch. And as you're ready, making your way over onto the right hand side to lay cradled in the fetal position, eyes remaining closed. Feeling the comfort and the safety here within this temple of your body. One more full breath here. Next exhalation, using your hands to push yourself up to a comfortable seated position, no matter which direction you're facing, legs crossed, spine straight, palms resting in the lap. Inhaling the arms out to the sides, gather all of that energy around you, palms touch overhead. Exhale to draw it all down the center line to the heart. Bow the chin to the chest, forehead towards the fingertips, and take a moment to honor yourself for coming to this practice today. Now, you may or may not be familiar with chanting as a tool for the nervous system, and I certainly will only invite you to join me if you would like for one final Om to seal this practice within the body. The inhale will fill the body, and the Om will be carried through the exhalation in whatever way feels natural. Everybody's muted but me, so you're free to express in this moment however you would like, if you do wish to join me. Inhale completely. Thank you all so much for coming today. Namaste.